going? So today on BKRsport, we are going to be going over the NRL Draw. So the NRL has come out and said that basically here's rounds 3 and round 4. Where's the rest of it? I don't know. I'm not too sure why. However, I'm happy the sport's coming back, so I'm not going to complain too much. I'm not going to be complaining too much right now. As you guys know, May 28th is when the NRL is coming back. Also, we're hearing that the AFL is coming back with baseball as well. NFL's still going ahead. Basketball may be coming back very soon. Premier League, I hope doesn't come back because then Liverpool don't win the Premier League. But we're not going to talk about that today. This video, guys, we're going to be going over the draw and what we think about the opening 2 rounds that they've gone with, and we're going to be talking about basically what we're doing on the channel as well, because obviously it's been a very difficult couple of months where we haven't had any real kind of sport to do. So we had the National Isolation League, and we're going to get into why that video didn't come out. But those videos will still come out, just not in National Isolation League. There'll be National Rugby League. We'll get into more of that in a second. I'm excited for some sport, mate. I'm just excited for some sport. I'm sick of sitting around every single day. You know, the podcasts are great. Doing the In the Sheds is great, fantastic. If it wasn't for the In the Sheds podcast that we have, and we also have a new channel, by the way. I'm going to pin the comment below for the new In the Sheds podcast, where we're going to be moving all like clips and stuff, like smaller clips, onto the In the Sheds podcast page. We're going to keep the regular full hour on here on BKRsport for the time being, but eventually, once we start getting a bit more of a subscriber base on the In the Sheds podcast YouTube channel, which is in the pinned comment below, then we're going to start moving everything over to that channel. Definitely go and subscribe to that one, because we're just going up, up, up. That January sale one was fantastic, and the NRL Draw that's coming out on this Wednesday is just unreal. So definitely go and hit that subscribe button. But let's get talking about some rugby league, baby. Let's go, son. First round, which is round 3, there is still the opening 2 rounds, which unfortunately we had to keep, even though I'm a Titans fan, so I would have preferred not to keep those. However, we did keep those 2. It is the more sensible option, and these are rounds 3 and 4. Now, my first question is, why only rounds 3 and 4? Like, it's fine, it's okay. I feel like it might be a thing like, okay, we're gonna put these 2 rounds out, see how it goes, because obviously it is still quite up in the air about the longevity of the tournament. I believe it will go ahead, and I think it'll be okay. I think there will be a few instances, but I feel like they're just gonna have to push through them. Obviously, all around the world, we're seeing all the different sports starting to really pop back up and come back into the foray. So I think that if an incident does arise, they're just gonna have to push through it and find a way. I don't think they're gonna cancel the league again. I don't think any sports will cancel again. I think unless it gets severe. But I do have confidence that no matter what, they're gonna just continue with the league throughout all the pressure and all the situations that will more than likely occur. Because this isn't gonna be an easy process, but more than likely, they're just gonna push through, in my opinion. So I feel like bringing out rounds 3 and 4 now is basically like testing the waters, or maybe just so they can throw out something and give us something to look at. Probably won't see the rest of the draw until probably after the first round or the week of the first round. I think that obviously it is taking quite a while to restructure. However, my question is, why didn't they just kind of use the same draw? Unless you're playing a team for the first time in the final 6 rounds, between round 1 to 21 to 26, what was the point of restructuring it? Like, if you play all 16 or all 15 other teams in that first 20 rounds, I don't know, there could have been an instance where you didn't play a team for the first time until that final 5-6 rounds. But if it wasn't like that and every single team played in the first 20 rounds, I don't know why it wouldn't just kind of stay as it was. As a Titans fan, very happy, because our draw in the first 2 rounds is a lot easier. But then again, it's never really easy for the old Titans. Yeah, it's never easy. Round 3, and obviously the opening of the season is the Broncos versus Parramatta. Now that's just obvious, isn't it? That's I think the sensible option would have been to put the Roosters versus the Rabbits there. Obviously they're the Friday night game, so can't complain too much. And I guess if you look at most of these fixtures in the first round or round 3, they're pretty much somewhat rivalry clashes. So you got Broncos and Eels, a little bit of revenge from last year. There is a bit of a rivalry brewing there. Cowboys Titans, there's no rivalry there. But it is Queensland, I guess. Roosters, Rabbitohs, there's a huge rivalry there. Sharks, Tigers has something. Warriors, Dragons, not really. Storm, Canberra, yes, there's something there. Panthers, Knights, not really. And then Manly, Bulldogs, there's something there. So there's actually quite a few teams here where there's a bit of a rivalry there, or it's brewing, or there's just some form of anger or resentment from one of the teams. And I guess that's kind of what they've gone with, to really go bang in the first round, you know what I mean? To really get back in foray. I just don't know why Brisbane versus Parramatta is that first game. I know the Broncos are looking good this year. I know Parramatta they weren't looking good in the first 2 rounds. They did win their opening 2 rounds. That first 60 minutes against the Titans was a little bit debatable. However, they did pump away in the end after just, attacking set after attacking set after attacking set on the line of the Titans. Really good defense by the Titans to hold out for so long, but then obviously they did get flogged in the end, that final 20 minutes. So I find it interesting that the Broncos Eels got that opening game. I think the Roosters Rabbitohs probably should have, but you can't complain too much. But I'm pretty happy with that first round. I'm happy with how it's laid out, and I guess it is what it is. As a Titans fan, obviously, I feel like the Cowboys game and also the Tigers game is a lot easier than playing the Broncos, which we were meant to play, and then the Roosters the week after. So look, it's a really good option for the Titans here that they have at least winnable games. Like, not necessarily are they going to win, but they're a lot more winnable than it would have been if we were, say, playing the Broncos and the Roosters like we were originally meant to. Obviously, there's been a lot that's gone on in the last couple of months, right? So it's not going to be the same competition on a playing level as it normally would have been. There will be some hiccups. There will be lack of match fitness. There will be lack of preparation. There will be mind frames that will be completely different with people worrying about what's going on and just the whole worldwide effect that this pandemic and phenomenon has had. So although I'm very much looking forward to the opening of the season, there is going to be a lot that goes on that is going to, prove other teams better than other teams in regards to their mental effects on the game. It's not just about rugby league right now, it is about the effects from the outside world that will be coming in, and obviously the fact that they're worried that maybe another player from another team could get, I don't know. The point of the matter is that there is a lot more mental effects in this game now. It's not just about rugby league. So, the great teams from, say, Melbourne or Broncos or Roosters, Parramatta, even though Roosters started off pretty bad. The point of the matter is that these teams might not come out as red hot as you think, because there will be a huge adjustment period. Now, another thing I'm going to say on this is this year, I don't know really if you want to win it. Like, I know you want to win it, but I don't necessarily think if it's your first time, say for the Titans, we're not going to win it. But the point of the matter is that if it's your first time or you haven't won in a long time, no one's really going to class this year as a real premiership. There'll be an asterisk. I don't necessarily believe that the NRL itself will specifically put an asterisk like 2010, 2008, whatever. But the point remains that the fans won't necessarily see this as a genuine premiership, in my opinion, because of everything that's gone on. So if you do win it, I think it'll be fantastic. I really do. I think it'll be awesome. But there will be, from the fans' point of view, an asterisk on this season because there's been so much that's gone into it and will affect the other teams mentally, physically, and it's going to be different to what you would have assumed. Round 4, we obviously have the Broncos starting itself again. No surprises. Yeah, against the Roosters. It should be a good game, but the Broncos starting us off. Again, that's, The rest of the games are the Panthers versus the Warriors, Storm versus the Rabbitohs, Eels versus Manly. Fantastic game that. That's going to be the game of the round. Cowboys, Sharks, Raiders, Knights, Titans, Tigers, and Bulldogs, Dragons. That looks like a pretty interesting round. There's nothing really that pops out onto the screen there besides that Parramatta versus Manly game. Obviously, that's a huge rivalry. I guess Broncos, Roosters. I guess the Wayne Bennett versus Craig Bellamy of Storm versus the Rabbitohs. But in reality, the Rabbitohs, they've been, I don't know about the Rabbitohs this year. I think they're good. I think they're going to play a team that can really challenge. But there is something missing there. So it'll be interesting to see how they go against the Storm. I have no idea how these teams are going to come out. I have no idea how these teams are going to come out and play. There could be teams that are terrible that come out and play great because they adjusted better. There could be teams that play great and come out bad because they didn't adjust well. Or we could see regular footy return. I don't know. No one really knows. I'm going to have to lean with the fact that it's going to be completely 50-50 at this stage. It really will come down to who has adjusted better to this break and who has been training no matter what. Like on the In the Sheds podcast when we spoke to Charlie Dixon, Jesse Parahi, people still need to train throughout this so that when they get back, they're still up to the same standards that they were beforehand. And I just want to know which teams have been the better trainers, which teams haven't been training as hard. Also, something I want to say in regards to the Latrell Mitchell incident. That is bullshit. Whoever came out with that article, and I'm not going to name a news source, but it is a news source, a frequent news source that people go to listen to genuine news. I don't know about that. I would boycott that news source, and I'm not going to say it because obviously that opens me up for being defamatory. But if you know what I'm talking about, I personally wouldn't be using such a news source that is deliberately trying to tear players down. We all know that he'd just come back from a serious break. We all know that everyone has just come back from a serious break. We all know that he wasn't up to the pace. We all know that no one was up to the pace. Everyone would have struggled. So picking on Latrell Mitchell, it made you look stupid. Not Latrell Mitchell, because everyone came out and defended him, because that's what was right. Defending Latrell Mitchell was right. If he does something bad, then he does something bad. With the whole incident outside of the game that happened, that was bad. So you can slaughter him for that. But when it comes to coming back to training, no. Like, everyone was off pace. Everyone was getting back into it. It was difficult for everyone. But the wrap up for rounds 3 and 4, I'm happy with those rounds. I'm happy with the outlay of them. Obviously, we get Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday, and Monday as well with the round 4. So that'll be good to have 5 days instead of just the regular 3 or 4, which is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday on that second round, 4th round. So that's really good. I can't wait for that. Now, moving on, what are we doing with this channel in regards to the return? Obviously, we can't do our game day experience vlogs that we normally do. I am in Fiji right now and I can't get out of the country. So the point of the matter is that we are going to be focusing a lot on live stream. So that first round, we're probably going to live stream every single game because I'm excited as shit for the rugby league's return. I'm excited for any sport to return. So we're probably going to live stream every single game. Also, as you guys know, I do National Isolation League videos that you guys have been really enjoying for the past, well, since the NRL stopped. Obviously, with all your comments, I have noticed that you guys have noticed that there has been no National Isolation League video this week. Now that's because I find that somewhat pointless to continue this knowing that the NRL is going to come back. So there's no real point continuing that because the NRL is going to be returning. So we're going to switch from the wheel decider and the actual kind of somewhat randomizing of victories and losses and based on all those statistics, and we're going to put it over to the actual NRL results. So I'm still going to be reacting as each fan base each week. I'm still going to have a news reporter each week that's going to be going over the results, but it's obviously going to be based on the actual results of the game. So that'll be a lot better because obviously it is actually genuinely what's going on. So that's still going to be here, guys. We're still going to be doing those style videos, just unfortunately we're not going to do them until after that first round because there's no point continuing a simulated season when we're not going to be able to even get halfway through that simulated season. And it frustrates me because the Titans are about to win a couple of games. Like, they beat the Warriors in round 10, so there was a little bit of a cheeky little hint for you guys, but unfortunately you guys aren't going to see that, so it is what it is. But the Titans were going to beat the Warriors. I think they beat the Dragons as well, and they beat the Sharks in a span of like 4 weeks. So it was actually starting to look good for the Titans, but we only went from 16th to 15th, so that's that's the Titans. So yeah, that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. All rugby league, so we're going to be doing live streams for pretty much every single game. We've obviously got the National Rugby League isolation style videos that will be returning every Monday or Tuesday if there's a Monday night game, so we just have to wait for that last game of the round. And also, like I said, the In the Sheds podcast, definitely get around it if you haven't already. We had Jamie Soward on this week, we have the NRL Draft on this week, we had Charlie Dixon a few weeks ago, we had Darcy Lussick talking about how he wants to punch up Nelson Asafa Solomon on a couple of weeks ago. We've had Chasing Kangaroos Rugby League podcast. You know, we are just going from strength to strength with this podcast, and like I said, we do have that new channel for the In the Sheds podcast, which is in the comments below. I have pinned the comment of the In the Sheds podcast, so go and subscribe to that. This week, like I said, NRL Draft, which is myself, Entertain House, the NRL Roast, and Ladies Who League. We did a complete NRL draft from scratch, like an NFL NBA style draft, where if you take a player, no one else can take that player. I actually lucked out and got the first pick. Then it went to Ladies Who League, second pick, third pick was Entertain House, and fourth pick was the NRL Roast. So it is a very fun video where we go through our entire 17 of obviously starters and bench, plus coach. We have team names, we have captains, we have kickers, and you guys are going to vote for who the winner is through the In the Sheds Instagram page. So if you haven't gone and followed the In the Sheds Instagram page, you need to go and do that now because obviously you are going to be voting for who the winner is out of all 4 of us across the next week. So starting from Thursday, you guys are going to start to vote for the winners in a group stage format, and then we get to a final between 2 of the teams. So very exciting. Who do you think I took with the first pick? Let me know in the comment section below. But that is going to do it for today's video. I do hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please leave a big thumbs up so I know that you're enjoying this content. I know it's more of a kind of letting you know what's going on video, but I still hope you've enjoyed it. If you aren't subscribed yet, obviously go and subscribe. Hit that button right there. Hit the little ding 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 button. Just go and hit the little ding-a-ling button, bell button. Gee, why am I saying button? It's bell. Ding-a-ling. Ding-a-ling bell. Just hit the bell. Go hit the bell, please. I can't say it anymore. And that's going to do it for today, guys. So thanks for watching. Catch you later.